welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm going to be telling you guys a little story time today about my emergency C-section during this COVID-19 quarantine. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. So I had a baby on March 25th. This is in the epicenter of this whole quarantine COVID situation. That was hard enough, and me having an underlying lung issue made it even worse. So back to my pregnancy, I knew that I had to be induced at 38 weeks. So on March 24th, I went to the hospital to start the induction process, get everything rolling to have this baby because the doctors wanted me in and out of the hospital as quickly as possible. March 24th, I get to the hospital early morning and we start the process. They use the thing where they put the balloon inside of your cervix to get you to open up and dilate. And with that came the contraction. I was contracting for hours, I think about 5 or 6 hours, and I was not opening up. I think it said I dilated maybe 2 centimeters. And I think you have to get to, if I'm not mistaken, 8 or 9 or something like that. But it wasn't happening. 8 centimeters, right? Yeah. But that was not happening for me. After not dilating for hours and hours and hours, and the contractions that I had were so bad, you get to a point where you feel like killing anybody who talks to you. The contractions were so bad, and I was really trying to hold out and not get the epidural. I was trying to be a thug about it, but the doctor was like, listen, there was no point in holding off on the epidural, because if I had an emergency where I did have to go for a C-section, at that point it would be too late to give me the epidural. So it's best I got the epidural sooner, just in case. Because of my health issues, if I didn't get the epidural and I needed something for the C-section, they couldn't knock me out. And there's no way they're gonna cut me open just all alert. And the epidural process, anyone who's had a baby knows, it's not easy in itself. Having to sit there while they prep it, and then you're going through this pain, and you just want them to move faster, and they really can't. And then the part where you have to sit still as they get the needle ready to go into your back, when that one contraction comes and you feel like it's over. Like I literally felt like, oh my God, I want to die. I was so pissed off. Like, hurry up, put the needle in my back and hurry up and numb me up. So luckily my boyfriend was there. He sat in front of me to literally help keep me calm, because it was like 2 or 3 minutes where the pain is coming. He's holding my hands, just talking to me, just to keep me present, and so I don't freak out and start crying. So then I get the epidural, and even then it still takes about 10-15 minutes to really kick in. So finally when the epidural kicks in, I start to feel a little bit better. And the thing about epidural, you don't go from pain to 0 pain. You go from a 10 to about a 6, depending on the person, because some people don't even feel their contractions. But I went from a 10 to a 6, and at a 6 I could tolerate it. So yes, had the epidural, feeling much better. This is about after 6 hours of contractions. I'm still not dilating enough. So the doctor comes in and is like, listen, they want to give me Pitocin to help my water bit, because my water hadn't broken. They give me the Pitocin, but they also let me know that Pitocin there's some risk that can happen, so they watch you carefully while you're on the Pitocin.
The risk that could happen is the baby's heart rate could drop.
That's one of the risks.
The baby could die.
So they give me the Pitocin, and they're watching me, and then at that point, doctor is down there with 2 fingers manually trying to get my water to break. With the Pitocin going and her down there trying to get my water to break, the baby was being monitored the whole time. They didn't say it to me at first, but the baby's heart rate had dropped.
What happened was, they weren't checking up on you like they were supposed to. Periodically, when they came in, they checked the baby's heart rate. They saw the baby's heart. They couldn't find the baby's heart rate, and when they did find it, the heart rate was faint. That let them know that the baby's heart rate dropped too low. And because they had fears of any kind of lawsuit, or the baby dying, most importantly, or the child having any kind of brain damage issues, so they hit the button. 15 within 7 seconds, the room was filled with at least between 15 to 17 nurses.
So,
and then they unplug everything and rush you into the emergency room.
So yeah, like he said, when the Pitocin wasn't working and they realized it was causing issues, baby's heart rate dropped, and it dropped for too long. So they went into a mad panic. Like he said, they pressed a button on the doctor pressed a button on the wall, and it was literally 5 seconds. Every nurse on the floor was in my room. At that point, I'm just laying there, confused. They unhooked everything and wheeled me so fast into the emergency room. My boyfriend couldn't come in with me because I guess you can't, no one can be there while you're having the C-section. In the beginning, I don't know if that was quarantine or if that's regular protocol.
It was the COVID situation.
Okay.
And it was an emergency. So being that it was an emergency, because remember, they adjusted it 3 times.
Adjusted what?
They adjusted the COVID protocol in the hospital 3 times. We were there the first time when I was there with you overnight, and they said because of the COVID you have to leave by a certain time. That was the first adjustment when they said only one person could be with you.
And we were lucky to have the baby at that point, because I would have been by myself if not.
Because only one person could be with you at that time. So literally it took them maybe between 7 to 8 minutes to cut you and get the baby out. Within 7 to 8 minutes, they came out and told me, you have a healthy baby boy.
So the part that he wasn't in there for is when they first took me into the emergency room. I was laying on the bed, so they put that blue sheet in front of me, so I guess I can't see what's going on down there. And at that point, luckily I had the epidural, like I told you guys, so I was already partially numb. And then the doctors then had to, I guess, numb me up some more because they had to cut me open. So at that point, I felt the doctor poking my stomach, poking. And so much was going on. The doctor's poking my stomach, screaming, "Can she feel it? Can she feel it?" And I'm literally screaming, "Yes, I can feel it." They were hurting me. And I still, like, afterwards had scars from them poking my belly. I'm like, I can feel it. It hurts. I have a doctor right here telling me, "You're not really feeling it. You're not really feeling it." I'm like, I am feeling it.
Lies.
She is hurting me. So then I hear another doctor say, "Just cut. Just cut." And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I feel the initial cut and I start screaming. And then at that point, everything did get a little hazy because the drugs were kicking in. But because they were rushing to get him out because his heart rate had dropped and the baby almost died and they're literally trying to save him, I can feel the doctor yanking on my stomach like the jaws of life, just ripping me open. Like they literally couldn't wait. They couldn't take the time to cut me nicely.
There's a specific machine they have to, after they cut you open, to hold you open.
So yeah, at that point, they are just pulling me open with the jaws of life. And although they say all you're doing is feeling pressure, I promise you I felt pain. I felt them pulling me open and just tugging and shaking. And I'm sitting there screaming like, "Oh my God, this hurts. She's hurting me." And the doctor is right next to me like, "Don't worry. You're not really feeling it. You're not really feeling it." And I'm looking at him like, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am." Like, I am being ripped apart right now. Literally ripped apart. So then it's the weirdest feeling. They're tugging my stomach open. And all I feel is like a gloop. And literally they literally pull the baby out of me. It's the weirdest feeling.
By the time I was in there, I came in there, they gave me the baby. I held the baby while I was next to your head, and they kept their lower half blocked because they were still doing
I guess stitching me up.
Plastic surgery. They were putting your body back together.
According to him, there was so much blood. Like a straight murder scene.
It went all the way. It went past the part they were blocking. It went up to your upper back. It went all the way up to underneath your armpit.
That's so crazy.
It was just, and the blood was so thick. I remember the blood being so thick, and the floor there was so much blood on the floor.
I guess because they were going so fast. cutting me open.
So what?
It was just like,
It's
everything gonna go, it's gonna go.
My biggest problem is how nonchalant they were about it.
At what point?
I'm there. And then they're talking, having other conversations. Like, doctors are so...
They do.
Doctors are so, the word for it is bedside manner. Bedside manner.
Mm-hmm.
They're so desensitized with life and everything. I personally believe it's like, for you, don't get me wrong, I understand they have to have, be calm or whatever, but it's like, just the way they talk, it's like
it's weird you say that.
Part of them unconsciously removes themselves from the situation that they're doing.
It's weird you say that, because when I watch shows like Grey's Anatomy, when the doctors are doing the surgeries, you'll see them having their personal conversations, talking about relationships and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, do doctors really do that?
Yep.
Like, you're doing a surgery, you're operating on somebody, and are they really having regular conversation? Like, they don't need to focus? Apparently they do.
I guess in a way it's a way of them focusing, because it keeps them calm and relaxed. Some of them. I don't know if it's part of their training.
I mean, because they know what they're doing. It's so protocol.
It's not. Yeah, I understand that. But maybe removing yourself from the situation makes you do it a little bit more effective, where your nerves are not shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's their training, but that's what happened.
They pulled the baby out of me, and then I hear him crying. At that point, I think because of the drugs, I was like emotional, and I think I remember saying, "Oh my God, is that him?" But in a haze, like I just hear crying.
Oh my God, he's so beautiful. I love you. Thank you for my baby.
And apparently I said a whole bunch of nonsense that I wouldn't say if I were in my right mind.
She was like, I love you. Thank you for the baby.
So yes, we were so happy to have the baby, being that we almost lost him because of the whole corona COVID situation. My boyfriend could not stay long, so they gave us 2 hours to bond together with the baby. But by 10:30, he literally had to leave the hospital, and he couldn't come back till to pick me up 3 days later. Actually, 2 days later. Normally with a C-section, you stay in the hospital for 3 days. But because of COVID, they wanted me in and out as soon as possible because of my underlying health condition. They didn't want to risk it. Being in the hospital is literally the worst place to be during such a pandemic. Being that we only had the 2 hours left together to bond with the baby, and unfortunately, he was the only one who would come see the baby. He was the only one who would come see me throughout the whole labor process. I couldn't have any family come, and everybody was ready to come. Everybody wanted to come see me, be with me, especially because only one person was allowed. Being that I had my underlying lung disease, everybody was already so concerned, wanting to be there to pray. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it that way, but I am thankful that I was able to have my boyfriend there with me. We have our baby, and we are so head over heels in love with him. He is the cutest thing ever, and he's happy and he's healthy, and that is all you can ask for. Thank you guys for watching this video, and please remember to subscribe to my channel. I really, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this story, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.